Hello, everyone. Welcome to the North Star Ball podcast thing show. This week we're reviewing a brand new event pack. Is it 6 or 7? One
Six.
of those, event pack 6, as well as the second or volume 2 of the 2020 championship cards, despite the fact that there aren't enough set 1 to go around, and I own playsets of all those cards.
Hopefully, the um, events are going to be announced soon. They talked about that, and maybe they'll add the leftover event packs or volume ones to the prize pool. Because why not? I feel like they should,
There's so
but
many. There were 5 canceled regionals thus far,
that
as
would have
well
had it, right?
as yeah, that all would have had it, and then
Store championships.
store championships, which is like a countless amount of packs and events that would have had enjoyed it. Um, it's just really unfortunate about distribution, but it's not Bandai's fault. It's COVID. So
Hopefully soon. I know they extended their organized play. I think that front page on the DBS card game site got updated and it says end of June now instead of end of May.
mhm.
So we'll see. Hopefully, we're not going to get too much into that stuff as you hear it on the news all the time. But hopefully soon, vaccine will come out or something. But we're here to talk about cards. So we're going to start with who's here. We got me again, Dom Delmont.
I'm Dan Reichenbach, and then Grant will join us in give or take 10-15 minutes here. Um, he's just running a little bit late, but that's a-okay.
Yeah, he'll jump into the call, throw in some input, just so we have a third opinion.
At least the first section is really simple stuff with just these event packs. These are the reprints. A lot of people have already been talking about these, but we can give our worthless 2 cents. Goku Ape reprint, probably pretty needed. I would have rather they simply made this card in every color.
Or something like it, like Red Brienne being the
Yeah,
green
right.
version.
Um, because card advantage is something that every color takes advantage of. And so I think it would just be better if they figured out which version is better. So right, probably in red, it would probably be discard again, and then blue would be draw. Um,
I could see that.
or blue could have like bottom deck 2 cards in your opponent's hand. That would be fine too.
Yeah, Red Brienne is too specific green though, right?
Yes.
So,
And so I would have rather they all had like a Ribrianne or a Goku, but instead we're getting the reprint, which is I guess fine. Um,
yep.
it's
I would have liked
still going to
it.
be expensive.
I would
Go
still
ahead.
would have liked it somewhere like easier to get, like in something you can buy instead of these events, because you get one card per pack, one card
Yeah,
per of the event packs, and looking at it,
if
there's not some good ones. Plus,
and
the
if
art kind of went down compared to the latest two.
yeah. Well, so and then there are a couple other things, right? So like if you realistically think about it, if you go to an event and you are the average player that doesn't and can't afford to play at the top level, so you probably don't own the Goku apes. You're not going to get as many event packs because if I remember from Chicago, you only got an event pack, the new event pack, if you won.
We got one for
Um,
entering,
one for entering.
entering
Um,
Nats when they first came out. I'm pretty sure the
that was event pack
LCQs did not
5.
have them.
No, we got them at LCQ. We got 4 afterwards because you could buy
Right.
the
For
event setup.
five or for four. For five though, five was because
Yeah.
that's when the announcer and stuff came out and we were trying to get those really quick.
Hmm.
Those were only um if you signed up for Nats and afterwards, like the storm tournaments and regionals then. But at Nats you only got it for the main event
Right. So,
and
point
then
being, right,
regionals.
realistically, especially like I said, if you're the lower level player that probably doesn't already own apes, and was just trying to get them on the cheap, your chances of pulling one ape are slim. Your chances of pulling a playset or 3 are effectively none.
Right.
Um,
Just because like there's not that many events where these come out like in your local scene. It would be they're mostly like regionals and
at least
championships.
at least for the time being. Half a year or more from now, sure, but this card may have already been power crept by then by something else, or they may have just decided to do its effect in every color like we talked about earlier.
Mhm.
Um,
I could
I
see
just
the tournament, maybe new tournament kits, because June's supposed to have like a revamped of TCG Meister, brand new
mm,
tournament kits that are the same throughout like all store events. So
and
maybe
then
they might throw in event packs in there to go with the tournament pack. Who knows?
mhm.
Um,
um,
but the
it's an
cards,
idea. It'll maintain a price. I think
yeah,
I would be shocked if this card drops below 80 for at least 3 months.
yeah. Other cards to point out, Cell Android Observer has the errata attack, so this is the first. Basically, this is like the first chance a card got reprinted after its errata, because usually the errata pretty much kills the card competitively. Or there's
Um,
some like text fix, but those cards usually aren't too popular.
or they're like super rares, like Heartfelt Plea.
Yeah, and the super rares they haven't had too many reprints yet in this game.
Um, as we
It's
just look at it,
yeah,
there's just some like it's a
Arena's
really
cool.
neat thing.
Arena's cool.
Yeah.
Universe 7,
Uh, I would say Android 20 Vial Creator would have been super cool if they didn't just ban the best card for it.
right. 21.
Yeah, Violent Predator was easily the best user of it. The second best user is the oh my gosh, the Super 17 6 drop from Miraculous Revival.
Hmm.
And it's like that's good, but you still have to pay a bunch of energy just to bring it out, and then to throw a double strike on there.
And it's
Eh.
vulnerable the entire way up.
Oh, there's
Oh, he's
Grant.
joining.
Wow.
Heck,
We
It's
stalled.
actually not. It's not that vulnerable the entire way up. One of the first cards with deflect and barrier. I think in that set there were two, and it's the Super 17 rare. That's a 4 drop as well as Gogeta 7. I think those are both the first deflect barrier cards.
Yeah.
but like spending all your energy to do that.
Yeah, it's super inefficient.
Setting up to
I think you pay 4 to absorb a cell.
Yeah.
Which is not good. Um, Maybe though we could see Surge Cell start to adopt that style, because then you can just run generally good cards, and it's really easy to Super 17 and then like throw out another 3 drop for successor.
uh yeah. Desperate Measures also a shout out card quick because that is another draft box reprint of a pretty good counterplay
Hmm.
for blue. And then Zeno has its first foil version outside of Judge promos, which would have been
At
nice.
one,
Like very first event pack that came out, maybe could have had Zeno because that's when he was more meta relevant. But
well,
eh,
I think Zeno is one of the most interesting cases because at one point I know that it was like breaking the game, but now Zeno is one of the most balanced, fair, strong strategies there is. Chain Tech Zeno,
yep,
especially now that we're moving away from the counterplay meta and back into Unisons here. Like Chain Attack Zeno is a really strong option that isn't broken, and we just got to appreciate that. So
yeah,
I
because
think
he
it's a fine time.
the difference is that it's equalizing rather than Old Cell or Gogeta 7 where it's just one sided.
yeah he also doesn't hit unison cards. Big facts
Yeah,
right there. Strike Force Jace, weird. I guess they wanted to get that super combo out for the Frieza leader from set 9. A little more
yeah,
easier to get to
probably.
because Clash of Fates is out of print. And Goku is
So
just there for Vegix, I think, just being a Black Saiyan card. But you probably
I
wouldn't
think
run
they'll.
it.
Yeah, I think they'll continue to support Black Saiyans a little bit more, the Xeno Saiyans, because we saw it in like set 5, and we
Yep.
literally didn't see it since then. We've seen like two cards here or there that have come out, but we saw it originally with Trunks and Bardock, and then we finally got Vegeta's and Goku's in set 5. We
And
got
also, this is just like the best target for the
Saiyan
ISR,
Transcendent.
whatever. Yeah.
Yep.
That's true.
It's just because you can recycle it with Power Burst if you're a slower like Hachiak. It can just be your Roshi with 0 combo cost on black. That then can evolve. So it's better than if it were like Crisis Crusher, which did get a reprint in Anniversary Box, but this is a lot more flexible.
True. Also, set 11 is like we know that it's very heavy SS4 base because of the box art and all that.
Xenos do go SS4 rather than.
There's a Xeno SS4 Gogeta and a Xeno SS4 Vegito, and this would be really good for Xeno Vegito. Just you get a blocker like a negate, play this guy. So we'll see.
Wasn't the Black Secret Rare art already shown and it was SS4?
Well,
but we don't know.
One. That's a regular SS4 Gogeta, not Xeno Gogeta.
Yeah, it fits the theme that we've been going since set 8 with the negative energy balls and the smoke dragon.
Sure, it might just be a generic rather than a archetypal.
Yep.
Black.
Yep.
Sure.
Cool. Event packs. I just wish the art was a little better, but we'll see. Maybe they're textured when we get them.
Fine. I like gold a lot. I just feel like some of the repositions don't make any sense. Like, why is
No, go ahead.
Cell Devour of the Masses looks like he's sideways now. He looks like they literally tipped the card.
I guess, yeah. Cool. So you're gonna get into some champ packs?
Art, at least. Sure.
Champ packs. We'll start with the Unisons because we always start with the Unisons. Gogeta SS3. He's really cool, and then there's Metacooler. So
Gogeta cool. And
Gogeta's
good.
cool. They look great. Like the art for these champ packs are much better than the last champ packs. Like I like this theme.
They're they have a theme and they're unique rather than just being pretty good cards and then stamped with champ pack. I don't really like how unobvious the Championship 2020 like tag is. It's like that light lettering on the side. It's really difficult to see. Maybe
they're foiled in person.
Easier.
Yeah.
I don't even see it. Where's the
exactly
on the right of Gogeta and on the left of Metacooler? You can see it says Championship 2020.
Oh, it's like spray painted, but like negative space spray painted. Weird.
Yeah. It's like the opposite of the last event packs,
which were a little too in your face, and then this one is you don't know it's there unless you're told, basically.
We'll see when they're foiled. It might look cool. If they're foiled, they might not be foiled. Were the last ones foiled?
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, Gogeta here is 3-drop blue unison, which means Soul Striker. Dual attack. He has the same effect as the starter deck Gogeta blue. So, right, when you release a Blue Saiyan, you have Blue Saiyan in rest mode, you don't take damage. That's kind of sick. I think that opens up a lot of defensive avenues for Soul Striker. I think dropping this on turn 3 as a 20k dual attacker that your opponent has to continually deal with, Awakening and Restanding 2, is really good.
Yeah, I feel like this one you're not going to be using its ability that often, so you're just playing
just a big dual attacker.
Yeah, big dual attacker that your opponent has to usually have to combo a card to get over if they attack with leader or most of the battle cards.
Mm-hmm.
-1 ability is really interesting though.
Yeah, it seems fine. Like it is removal for -1, which is pretty strong. The secondary effect doesn't seem that great. The playing a mono Blue Saiyan with its skills negated.
Yeah, it sets up for the permanent and
it also sets up for like Vegito plays and stuff.
Yeah,
like
the Tora.
There's some other targets like the Vegeta from the Anniversary Box expansion cards. That if you untap a card on your opponent's untap an energy on your opponent's turn, you draw a card. Gets them out there pretty quick.
That's a pretty good point. Energy absorber.
Yeah, in Soul Striker though, you already have a bunch of energy up because you're attacking with it and then restanding too. So.
How about set 7 Vegito?
No.
Wait.
That leader.
No, there's yellow.
Got super trash.
Oh yeah, the leader is yellow, isn't it?
No, leader's blue.
Leader's blue. But
it's a blue-yellow archetype.
Yeah, a lot of the cards are yellow.
The Gokus are the easy part to play, guys. The Vegetas are the crap.
Yeah.
Like you can play Saiyan Bloodline for 1 and search a card. For Vegeta, it has to be a yellow. So either if you want to do a 1-drop, you have to play the Barrier 5K from set 8, or you more realistically are just playing the Vanilla and the Saiyan Elite Bloodline. Anyway, off of that one, I think Gogeta's good. I think people are really sleeping on it in Soul Striker. If you run like 3 Goku Blacks and 3 or 4 of this, I think tapping on turn 5 energy for this dude,
That'd
and
be
then just like
huge.
putting like Vegito, Potara, or the world's strongest candy combo into the 25k barrier. Basically throw up a big Saiyan in rest mode, you're not getting touched.
Oh, can this play the world's strongest candy? Is that a 2?
It can play the world's strongest candy,
That's
but it
right.
has its skills negated, so only the turn after would you be able to swap for the 4-drop, which you might still do anyway.
And is he at
Um,
20k or 25? It's 20.
the world's strongest candy is a 15k.
Oh, you might as well just play vanillas.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then the big thing is that if you play it with its skills negated, but I think because the wording it doesn't negate the skills and then play. It plays it with its skills negated, so I don't know if it can play it.
Isn't that the same as the Trunks wording though, if I can play it?
No, the trunks negate skills before playing it.
Right. Okay. Then probably not. So any last things on this
Sure.
one, Grant? Gogeta?
No,
Cool. Meta
just
cooler
3 energy dual attack 20k is pretty.
is pretty good.
Just tap 5 on turn 5. If you just tap 5 and then restand 2 with your leader for this card, you're just never gonna die.
Yeah, but you're gonna want to tap early though to play it and then awaken.
Yeah, you'll do both because eventually people will kill it, right? Like Ape, there are answers to this card still because they could just like play their
Or
triple Greg
you can
Boss
play
monster and
Goku
kill
Black Unison, let it die with the blocker,
it. Mm-hmm.
and then play this for big
For big defense points.
plays. All right, Meta cooler. Tokens, lots of token play, which is really interesting.
Four energy for 5 swings. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
I know a lot of people are complaining that like, oh, it's meta cooler, it's green. First off, there's no traits.
It's not
Tokens
even cooler.
have no traits. Literally, this meta cooler, if it said his name was Bubbles, the terrifying horde of Bubbles, and played Bubbles tokens, it'd be the exact same card.
But it wouldn't be meta cooler, Dom.
Yeah, I know. What would be kind of more thematic if it was like the Bio Warriors from Broly? Because this card's really good in Broly because it gives you stuff to pop in return.
Mhm.
But yeah, you can play a green 15k token, not green. If your leader's mono green, you get to play a meta cooler token. In return, if it's a 15k and has combo power, that's a big plus. And he is also a 15k, so you get 2 just for playing it. And then you can +1, discard a card, draw 2. So cycling. And he pluses because he adds 1 extra card. And then -4 plays more meta cooler tokens. So this is your go wide board control deck. Board advantage.
I think it's a good card. I don't think green is in a position to really take advantage of it right now. If only because green has been weak for a long time until hand control is back in the meta. And this card isn't really a hand control friendly card. As well, green unisons are some of the strongest. The only unison that'll gain crit on its own is Frieza. Bardock makes you drop a card every turn.
The
I just don't think
Frieza's like anti-unison, like it kills your opponent's unison card pretty quick. So like yeah, there's better options I think right now. I can't think of a deck that would want to use this besides the OG Broly, set 1 Broly.
Right, and it seems like it's kind of going more towards a play style rather than like an exact plan. Like I don't know, I could see some mid-range Gohan fans trying it out. like filtering in order to find the pieces to finally kill you with their leader. But yeah, it's hard to say for sure.
Yeah. I mean, just the filtering part's like really good on its own, and then the free cards. I don't know. I just feel like, yeah, like you said, the other unisons in most decks are probably better options. Plus, it's a 3 specific cost, and I don't think anything green cares about 3 specific costs yet. If that makes sense.
No.
I think they're all
There's
2. They're all 2 and 1. Because Demigra is a 1.
but even then, Demigra isn't searchable by anything,
Correct.
to my knowledge. It really is just. I really think it's a great card. If green has a more mid-rangey option, this could be something really good. I just don't think right now is the time.
Maybe
But it's coming.
Ginyu and just big board. That's all I can really think too. Ginyu, big
Yeah,
board.
but Ginyu wants to play the Frieza because you can stack the top of your deck with the Ginyus that are in your hand.
That too. See? That's like, why? So, yeah.
Its time will come.
Yep. We'll see. Next, we got Gotenks and Vegix. We got the Fusion Boys.
Fusion Boys.
I feel I put them next to each other because they fit into their deck. I think the Gotenks fits in better, but still kind of goes away from what exactly you want to do.
It's just a little not in the realm. I think it would have been better if they like made it a bigger number and it was like a 7 drop.
keyword.
If it was a 7 drop and it said like Union Potara for 5 and then reduce
Fusion.
it by 1 for every, or sorry, Union Fusion and reduce it by 1. But right now there's just the 3 Union Fusions, less options to really kind of change the deck up if you're trying to play the Fusion base. I just don't know if this is it.
It's just a weird defense option. And then you get
in a deck that has like yellow has defense. What it was needing was more Union Fusion cards to make the deck work. But
yeah,
I think it's still a good card. 2 energy, like reasonably if you're playing a burst yellow leader, if you decide to play like Teen Gohan or something.
and if
They're
you're
just
playing
15k block areas.
you can even do it outside of Gotenks. Like he just needs yellow battle cards with 15 power in your drop.
Exactly.
And once
2
you
energy.
I think 3
20.
of them. Yeah, 3 of them is all you need because you can't go lower than the 2 specific costs.
Yeah. So a 2 cost 20k revenge blocker is still pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
It's not broken, but it's still quite strong.
I kind of wish it hit leader with its ability as well, because a lot of like Sin Shenron, for example, the 4-drop hits leader or unison, right?
That's
or
so
battle
big.
card.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the phone's ringing. Sorry.
I think the other thing with it, like it doesn't just keep the cards tapped. It just can't
Says they
attack
can't
during your
attack.
opponent's next turn.
Right.
Like if it would just keep the card in rest, it would be so much better. Like if you're against Sin Shenron, and you can just keep it in rest, and they can't restand it until your next turn. Or
yeah,
until
that would be a really interesting combo.
But I think that's what they're trying to avoid is the things that just infinitely lock it down. They kind of want you to like have one turn to use it again.
Yeah.
Fair. All right. You go on to father-son duo.
Sure.
Vegix, 2 Union Potoro Shrunks Vegeta, and if your leader's a Black Saiyan, but your opponent has to have 3 more energy, and you have to have no battle cards to play.
Why?
So much that you
Why?
have to do by turn 3 or
In
2.
the most aggro deck in the format. You don't want your opponent to make it to turn 3 because then they're going to start stabilizing.
Yep.
And you don't want to have no battle cards in play. One, because your leader is probably going to play a battle card by the time while you're milling for this.
And
then
even the mid-range build, I feel like you're gonna have to start acquiring board control before
you're gonna have Kid Ku's out. You're still gonna have like you're still gonna have the 19k Splintering Mind or Black Mass Saiyan. This card just isn't it. I don't think so.
If it could like free play without milling it, because that's also you have to mill it or burst it when you hit those conditions, like when those conditions are met. You could already burst them like by turn 2 because you're bursting 5 a turn, right?
Yeah, so couldn't you like sequence it where you play him and then like the starter deck?
Yes, if your board is clear,
Right.
but your board's not going to be clear. On
It shouldn't
turn 3.
be. Yeah.
There's
On
not
turn 3.
there's not cheap enough board wipes, and there's no, since black won't play a battle card on your turn. The only way I can think of a board wipe would be
Dredge Coup.
you're playing against green. Yeah, Dredge Coup is either Dredge Coup comes out
Dredge Coup is
or
the
they like
green
use blue
set
impulse.
10 leader. Goku. Yeah.
And
Or
then
they like negate and combo their entire hands and then eventually like negative energy balls you.
Mhm.
yeah, that's what I mean. Is like there's effectively no chance that's gonna happen.
What also would
So-
help if it had a keyword also besides Patara.
I
Right.
think this would be a great candidate to give blocker.
Yeah, that sounds like a super like you're behind. I need some defense. Like this is a defense option because you're probably
Two
running a 60 card deck, so you don't like lose out
Mhm.
if your opponent warps some cards or something somehow.
And then alternatively, right, it's a 2 energy 20k blocker, which is actually pretty good. Most two energy is a vanilla 20k,
Mhm.
but then it's also a target for evolving. That would, I think that if literally, I think it just needs a good keyword, and it probably would have seen some play at least in the mid range version, if only because of Union Patara.
Right, because
But it
there is
doesn't.
a Vegix that evolves, right?
Yeah,
Or no?
7 cost.
I also just
Oh, it needs a 7
realized
cost.
this one doesn't. The 7 cost evolves on any 6 cost.
Gotcha.
But I also just realized this one doesn't fuse out of
The warp.
The warp.
Yeah.
Completely ignore everything I just said.
Oh, so then it's banking on the fact that you play the starter deck guys for free.
Either the starter deck guys or the Overrealm Trunks that plays the Vegeta Xeno from your deck.
But you probably
Right.
go the Black Mass Stand route at that point.
Yes.
Because again, that's another 2 energy play, and I'd way rather play a 19k crit or 19k burn 2, burn 1 / whatever than playing a 20k beater.
Right.
So seems like side deck maybe 1 in main at most.
No, I
If any.
don't think this card will see any play.
Unless more Vegix stuff come out. Because Vegix is the starter deck. The starter decks are
That would-
lasting all year, like all block. So they
So they would
might
get
throw
more
in
support.
some support, like for all 3 starter decks, because that would just make sense. You want people buying
Yep.
the starter decks coming in throughout the year. And all the new packs don't support it, so that would be kind of dumb. Or kind of lame, not dumb. Probably dumb, but yeah.
It's just not good, so we can just go to the next ones.
Also not good. Bulma almost good.
Bulma almost good.
She's exactly like the Universe 11 blocker. But if you have another
Almost.
Universe 11 in play, can't KO. This card can't be KO'd once per turn. 1-drop blocker, Earthling, great. Player off the Bulma super combo, really good play there.
Or just 1 energy, stop potentially multiple attacks.
Right. What does
But
suck?
But it's a Bulma.
It's a Bulma, which means she can't proc Bunny Girl Bulma super rare, because this is a great candidate to get popped by an opponent's card.
That is one of the weakest parts of that card, is that there aren't many great Saiyan or Earthlings that your opponent goes, oh, I have to get rid of that right now. It's too much of an issue. And this was their chance. And they screwed it up.
Yeah, and because this is locked as a if your leader's Yamcha, this would have been great, and
Not even Earthling.
it could have been great if your leader's an Earthling. Like that would have been so much better because you can run it in a Hercule, run it in a red Earthling, run it
Bulma.
in
Pilaf.
Pilaf.
Bulma, it already has blocker, but
Yeah, Bulma would
I
already get a
mean,
blocker.
but
can't
still
KO.
being able to not be KO'd.
Yep. It should have been a Puar, because that way it fits the Yamcha part. Because I think Bunny Girl, did they? Yeah, they did nail each other in Bunny Girl when she was wearing her Bunny Girl suit.
I don't know.
Puar.
Yes.
If it was a Puar, That way, Puar gets more cards, and Puar is very important during the Dragon Ball Saga to Yamcha, and it's also an Earthling that is not Bulma and would proc
But
Bunny Girl Bulma.
people are going to be vying much harder for this card, though, just simply because it is a Bulma. And
You
they
I
can't
know,
hide
mean,
their
we
degeneracy.
say that, but Bulma, everyone was very hype on the Bulma leader because they were like, I'm gonna play my waifu.
Exactly.
And
And then they were hyped
no
for the
one
SR of her smacking beer.
and no one played those cards. No one.
yeah. Yep.
It's fine. It stops up to an attack per turn, which I think is really good. You have to sequence it so you block with it last, like take all the extra damage, right? Turns are becoming a little bit more predictable in the Unison meta. Multicolor meta was kind of all over the place. You could literally sometimes be playing against someone, have no clue if they're going to tap their energy at all that turn or if they're going to tap all of it.
On your turn or their turn.
Right? So it was really unpredictable. Unison meta is a little bit more on 2, they're going to play their Unison. If they're playing red on 3, they're going to play their Unison. In this case, you just go, okay, it's green Goku's first turn. Don't block the leader swing. Play Bardock. Swing Bardock, block Bulma. It's just so much more predictable.
Yep. That's all I really got about it. It should have been Puar or somebody
Should've
else.
been Puar.
Just the name ruins it. It does help the Vegeta that the red yellow Vegeta that plays it when a Bulma is KO'd.
Yep.
And
Raging Frenzy.
and the heroic rare Vegeta that adds a Bulma from your board to the bottom of your deck. A red Bulma. And then that can be played. So it does help that quite a bit. But if this also wasn't leader locked to Yamcha, it would be I could run it in the set 3 Kid Goku ape deck that searches Bulmas. Would have been kind of fun, but yeah,
Okay.
missed opportunities.
Vegeta, Appetite for Battle. Sideboard card at 2, and then that's it, and only in one deck.
I guess too. You can do it in Clash, just so you don't mill out also Clash Q. But Clash Q and Dredge Q are basically the same thing.
At this point, if you're not just playing Dredge Q, I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, I can see a bit argument for both, but like yeah, Clash of Fates, Green Goku, or the set 10 Green Goku are probably the best choices. There is a fun little interaction with the set 7 Kaioken Goku, because that one you can burst 7 to negate an attack, and then this gives you another burst, so you can do another negate.
But at the same time, 1 energy, why not just play a negate?
Yeah, exactly.
Like, you could just play full power energy or Shocking Death Ball or anything, and it would just do the same thing.
Because you gotta fill the drop for Kaioken, Savior of
20.
Earth,
You
whatever.
need to reveal your entire deck to your opponent before putting it all back.
Yeah.
You can only shuffle monocolor green, too, so you
And that
can't even
don't
back
have
other
super
stuff.
combo. I think if you run the Goku like Exodia package, it like put a Bulma, Green Bulma, Vegeta, whatever, all back into your deck, or Warp.
You don't even want it. Yeah, I was gonna say if it was from Warp, maybe, but you don't even want to throw them drop
Yeah,
to your deck. You want them to be in your drop
but
area.
you can put other cards back. Is it battle cards? Battle cards. So
Well,
not even
yeah,
extra
but the
cards.
way I think when you're playing that deck, right, the way the deck is kind of structured is either you're milling your pieces or you're milling cards that have effects in the drop area.
Correct. And you can't put super
So,
combos back, which
which
sucks.
I think it's interesting because I think this card actually would have been fine and probably seen some play if you could shuffle back super combos, but I don't even think it would have. I think it would have been a really interesting mechanic because it's like so few times we get to like reuse super combos,
Or
especially
basically
like
shuffle
how
cards
they're
back in
intended.
general to your deck,
Yeah,
because there's this and the Bulma that works on Shenrons, and then that's about it from drop to deck of your own accord. Oh, the cycle in set 7 where you combo and discard
yep. So right
village
that like
stuff.
I think that would have maybe made it niche, like, oh, if you think your Dredge Crew match is going to go a little longer, play this Vegeta, and it would have made more sense, right? Like, I think it would have seen significantly more play, but it also still wouldn't have been overpowered. You could shuffle back 3 super combos, I don't care. You're going to mill them back anyway, so,
Right.
right. It would have been totally balanced, I think.
Yeah, but getting to reuse super combos while also getting to pop this with Bardock.
Sir, you mill more cards than you draw. I promised you that you aren't actually playing 4 super combos per game.
It's also weird. It's an Android Cell Saga. I just realized.
Yeah.
Doesn't really
So
make sense, but
it's like they're tweaking. They're trying to be really careful with all these cards.
right, because what
Like,
happened in the last champ packs, those were
is that
all
all those
very strong for the decks they were for. If yeah.
Piccolo Gohan. Let's reel it back a
Okay,
little
I'm
bit here.
sorry, but that leader was fine on its own, and we already saw what happened to that leader. Yeah,
so-
like they were all there's some outliers that were really good and then really bad for those last champ packs. Like the Frieza made the Frieza deck pretty much playable, but that's
Interesting.
still also didn't see play.
I just realized something for Vegeta here. In a mono green Vegito deck, this is a 1-drop Vegeta. Interesting. It's not good. You should still run blue green if you feel like you have to run that leader. But it's interesting.
What are you saying? Like for
like if you wanted to play mono green Vegito from set
set
3.
3? Yeah. Oh yeah, just because it's just
It's
a
literally
Vegeta.
just because it's a 1-drop Vegeta.
Yeah.
So it's on color and whatever. Fine card. Let's move to the next one.
Blue. There's 2 blue cards. Trunks. It's cool. He's a blocker. He has the permanent if you reveal it from your life, and all your energy is mono blue. So it works mostly only with the Trunks, the new set 10 Trunks leader, because he reveals cards from life. You may play it, and when this card is played, you just bottom of the deck, right? No, to the hand, 2 of your opponent's battle cards.
Yeah, this could, like, on a turn when your opponent is like got a board and trying to kill you, this potentially stops 3 attacks, right? Let's say you take their unison swing damage and you go reveal Trunks. Sorry. You reveal Trunks, play it, bounce 2 things, and you can block an attack. That could potentially stop 3 attacks.
He's
for 1
basically
card.
just saying stop right there in the art too. I know it's burning attack, but it's like no.
Yeah, no closer. I think it's super good card, or maybe not super good, but like that's mostly because the Trunks archetype is not super good. But it seems like probably the best individual card that's not a unison in this champ pack.
Yeah.
Especially when placed right next to this other card.
Bandai.
I know the chat, we got people talking that they think it's good, but
can we have Plan for Destruction? No, we have Plan for Destruction at home. Plan for Destruction at home. It's divine.
I do like that meme. What I guess we'll see like as the Zamasu builds come out, but like not being able to play
Other battle cards is
anything
so
else
bad.
in blue, you can't.
So bad.
You can only play. You can still activate card effects like in the drop and stuff, I guess.
Well, so I look at it like this, right? So there's 2 Zamasu decks. There's Ramp, which is aggro, and then there's set 7 blue-yellow Ramp or opponent Ramp, which is control. In aggro, you don't want to leave 2 energy up. In control, you can't not play Champa. You can't not play UI Goku. So why the heck did they put such a harsh limiter on this card? I actually don't think this card would have been broken the other way.
Right.
If it had said, like, choose a card in your hand, it basically would have been mono blue Zamasu, objection, that cost a card in hand still.
Does this help out the
In counterattack timing.
in counterattack timing, right? So like your opponent could just choose not to attack you on turn 2.
And also in rest mode, where objection was in active mode.
Right. So like I completely think that that entire last line is only to try to future proof some broken strategy.
I think they're trying to control ramp after what happened with Shenron ramp. Because although
But
that's a whole
again,
different issue why that was
World
broken.
Peace. World Peace was the only reason that worked. Like Gogeta was
Right.
cute, but
We didn't have any counterplays to anything that was big, which was also the issue around that time.
but now we do, and so I just think this card is overtuned in a negative way, like against it rather than being too good.
Yeah.
There's just no reason.
There's
Maybe.
got to be some bad to go with the good to make your heart sink, make you wish you never got these packs at all.
What
Dude,
about
I thought
set 10's of Masu leader?
again,
like,
but it's an
does it-
aggro deck.
Right, but
On
you're
turn
popping
2,
your own energy. But I guess that's what Zeno's for. You're gonna lose that energy anyways. You just pop that one, right?
yeah, you just
Yeah.
Zeno, and right, and on turn 2, you're never gonna keep 2 up because you're playing Zeno.
Yeah.
It's so infuriating, Bandai.
And Dane's like the biggest Zamasu fanboy in Minnesota, probably.
Probably okay.
Probably. I mean, let's go back.
Huh?
Let's go back. Yeah. Yeah.
Either
Probably.
way, right? The Bandai is just trying to future-proof something that doesn't really need it because the limiter of being a Zamasu leader is already really restrictive. There are 3 leaders that this card can be played in. 1 is bad. 2 is pretty bad with a really unique win con that they keep making weaker as time goes on. Like you don't have to charge cards. You just stop at like 4 and you can still win the game.
Yeah.
And then the last one is an aggro deck, which is super neat, right? Like it's not necessarily tier 1 or anything, but it could be like tier 2, and it's an aggro blue deck, which doesn't really exist, but the leader is really strong. And they're like, let's make a counter attack that ramps a card, and then you can't play anything else. No other cards, which is just crazy. No Abuni, no Android 18,
Yeah.
no Kefla, no Android 17. Blue has a lot of trouble with finishers, and limiting the very few they already had was a bad choice.
Yeah. I got nothing else really to say about this one. I don't really play. You obviously play like the deck like crazy and try to make it as far as you can with it. Even like you were tri-coloring it before like tri-coloring was a thing, so
People just,
well,
you know,
I'll trust your judgment on Divine Judgment, but
maybe one day if they print better Goku Blacks and Zamasus, but now is not the
maybe
time.
anniversary pack. Well, who knows? We'll see.
But only 1 or 2 cost? Dude. Oh, specified cost.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's only for the blue unison cards. Yeah, no. If they didn't shut off like the 10 drop Zamasu, that'd be awful. But are we ready to get on the last 2 cards?
Yeah.
The fun ones, we get multicolor cards in a monocolor era. Baby Janemba is fun to see a Baby Janemba, but it's not a secret rare. I just realized he has a unique tag. I guess then you can't play it, all of them at once. Yeah, that makes sense. Then you have to put that if you don't control this card. That makes sense. He comes out if you play a red yellow multicolor baby. He just comes out for free. 16k, 2-drop, red yellow, and then looks to top 7 and adds up to 2 offering cards. But it's not a plus because if you add 2, you discard a card.
So
if you add 1, you don't. Sorry.
Let's talk about our offering targets here. Heartfelt Plea.
Great.
7-drop baby.
Okay.
Rat and Tonic.
Pretty good.
Surge of Divinity or Dawn of Divinity, sorry.
You would be running with the bomb. What were we running that with?
We'll get there. We'll get there. and Baby Janemba, the secret rare.
Oh, yeah.
I'm pretty sure those are the only offering cards. in the
Whoa,
game.
wait. Oh, wait, but that's not a baby. Dang, I was
Oh,
thinking
and
red,
the starter
yellow.
deck.
I was thinking red, yellow arrival Vegeta Bulma, which and then you play this, and then it'll search out Divinity. Then you just play Divinity off the red, yellow Vegeta Bulma. But it's not a
Weird.
baby card.
But Bandai
Uh,
decided to limit offering to not only that, but just to baby, which is really, really not good. Not being able to search out the great pieces, like, could you imagine in Beerus, turn 2, you play your Beerus, and this just said, when you play a red, yellow, multicolor battle card, you can play this card. And it literally had every other effect text is the exact same.
yeah, I just
But it
told you
just said red,
a
yellow,
really
battle card.
great example play.
Exactly, right? And so you could also, or I was thinking Beerus, you play it on turn 2 in whatever red deck or whatever, and then you go search your Heartfelt, and then the next turn when you awaken, you automatically have Beerus into Heartfelt.
Yep.
Yeah, but I agree. It just seems like they want this card to be, hey, find your 7-drop in Heartfelt,
Basically, that's
The-
all I
and
see.
then drop something for it.
The deck
What's it?
just doesn't need that kind of consistency because it has Blitzwave and
Dr.
The
Mew.
draw 3, drop 2.
and Graceful Charity.
Yeah.
So
The deck, I think the deck's like it's fine. I don't know what like it's a baby that's played for free, but you're not like using the 1-drop baby chain from the red leader.
yeah,
Like it just feels weird.
interestingly, this card is also searchable off of Blitzwave. I just realized because it's a baby by name, baby / Janemba.
Yeah. Like all other thing
Um,
I see is like it's just another swing for the baby deck.
which generally they're just better quote unquote extra swing cards you could be playing. You could just be playing an Overrealm card that's really powerful, or you could be playing the baby that comes in for 2 damage because that's just more likely than necessarily seeing this the turn that you have the thing in play. The deck is tight on space.
I don't think
As
anything cares that it's a Janemba because it's yellow, nothing blue.
Yeah.
So
I guess you could search for like Psyche Demon with Psyche Demon if you're playing Tricolor, but you're never gonna do that.
that'd be weird.
So right, so point being, Bandai again, just like all the other cards above, like literally 4 word changes, and these cards would all be hyper playable but not broken.
Blitzwave is finding cards. 2-drop baby is a Blitzwave plus a swing. That's a fair argument, but like, I guess. And it's like you can combo, but do you have the energy up?
In what? Read it one more time. I'm not in the chat.
A Blitzwave is finding cards. 2-drop baby, Janemba baby. It's a Blitzwave plus a swing.
But it's not a Blitzwave.
Because you still have to play the arrival. If you're doing the standard red yellow build from like set 8, you would play this like turn 2 when you arrival, and then grab Heartfelt if you don't have Heartfelt already. Like you're mostly just looking for Heartfelt at that point.
Yeah, because likely you'll be like, if you have it in your mulligan or something, that might be what you drop
Yeah.
with the filtering. So
you want Heartfelt because it's really easy to hit the 6-drop ape or the 7-drop ape because you can just search them with Blitzwave. But so this is searching Heartfelt, but you already see so many cards. Yes, 1 in 4 games probably they miss the Heartfelt on the Awaken, but I don't think that's often enough to justify multiple more slots. But
Yeah.
we'll see. I think the meta still calls there's too much removal, and I don't think multicolor is necessarily leaving it as much as people think. So you still have to max out on your 6-drop babies for control. You still have to max out on your 7-drop baby, maybe play 3 of it so you can always hit it. And then you have to play Beer's Arrival for control, and you have to play the baby that replaces the 30k babies. It's so tight on space.
This maybe could open up a new build, like a different red yellow, like maybe control base baby
Yeah,
deck
if like more support were to come or more offering
with the
targets were
with
to come.
the red leader going multicolor in that. But I don't know. I think a lot of other stuff need yellow lit baby. I don't know. We had a friend talking about it on our like locals Discord, talking about how this could like open up some play. But we'll see. It's neat. Anyone else have anything else on Baby Jinba?
Mm-mm.
All right. My favorite card, I saved for last. SS3 Gohan Master Surpassed. Is a boss. Deflect barrier, which we all know is super annoying to deal with. Has Alliance, which is cool because I think Alliance and Aegis and Revive could use some more support. And if you use the Alliance ability, if your leader is mono red, you just burn 1 damage. And until the start of your next turn, your opponent can't play battle cards with 20k power or less unless they crit themselves each time. So if your opponent plays a Boony, they crit for life. So that's fun.
Bandai?
The wording makes me think that the tokens would be optional. I mean, like, that's why you're playing a Boony, but I think the wording would be similar to Fu, where
Right.
you don't
Since
have to
now it's
do
a
it.
cost. It
Right.
would be like the yellow super rare Frieza from Tournament Power, which now there's a cost added to the card. So then it just becomes optional.
Yeah, so
I'm
I
pretty
think
sure
you could
that's
play
how it
like
works.
1 token if you feel like critting 2. That's
Right.
just not something you should probably do.
No, still not worth it. Definitely if this just dealt 1 damage. But fun fact, looking at the
Bandai, we need
card,
to have a talk. Bandai?
this is a Gohan Adolescence. My tired self at 8 a.m. when I saw the card looked at the outfit, like cool, he's wearing the Piccolo gear. This is clearly Cell Saga
Gohan.
Gohan.
We all thought it.
Yeah, nope, this is Adolescence Gohan. This is if Gohan didn't become a nerd and study books. Which opens up a whole another door of possibilities because Gohan childhood has like no support. Gohan Adolescence has a lot of support, especially with Alliance with the set 7 Goku that restands it, which means he can do the effect again because this effect would stack.
Notably, though, Goku only comes out for free if you play the Familial Bonds Goten and Gohan. So you have to find a way to put Goku out either with Familial Bonds, the extra card, or just hard casting it for
Is he a
3.
315k?
314k.
So he can Familial Bonds him out.
And Familial Bonds him out.
But that would be also turn 5 because this is going to be your turn 4 play. Unless you somehow have them out early, but then your opponent will just pop it. Unless we can get this effect out turn 2. I'm excited now. You ready? Turn 2.
No, hold on. Well, let's talk about the more traditional way, where it's turn 3.
Oh, turn
Because
3.
you play Gohan abilities obtained or whatever
Set
that
2
gives.
Gohan that gives this guy evolve for 2 red and a 1. So you
Is
don't
it
even need to
it's
be
a
running
promo?
multicolor. What?
Isn't it a promo?
No,
a
it's
promo,
from the
isn't it?
set. The promo was the one that
Oh, that draws
in Double
ability.
Strike.
Yeah. So yeah,
Yeah,
we'll see.
walk me through this real quick.
So, okay,
Uh,
so you can Familial Bonds, turn 2, or just something like in
Play it.
Pan. Play it the Gohan that makes all Sun Gohan Adolescence gain evolve 2 red 1 and 1. So turn 3, then you can just evolve on top of that Gohan with this
For this
card.
one.
And then play free Videl blocker to use Alliance. And then it's a
That's
25.
hot.
Yeah, right?
Right? Hot.
Yes.
And if they deal with Gohan, that's a red Saiyan, which means you can buddy girl.
Yeah, Red Earthling. Yeah. And then you can Buddy Girl. Yep. Oof. You
There
can't
are
Bunny Girl this
options.
back because it's not just an Earthling or the Yeah, actually this one. Yeah, you can't just bring it back. Or
But
the evolve target.
but it means if you throw a Yamcha in your discard pile, they scared.
Yep.
They are not touching that dude.
Oh yeah. But the turn 2 play would
Uh-oh.
be turn 1, charge a red
Charge.
blue. You spear a super combo on your opponent's turn. Play Hercule Boo. Turn
Wait
2.
a second, Dominic.
What?
That's a Majin Buu card.
That is a Majin Buu card. Let me explain why. You charge a red. You now have a Hercule Boo that is also a bunny girl target because that's an Earthling. 2 red energy and a Boo on board. You can evolve into Awakening Evil Majin Buu. He has a free Union Absorb that puts in play a Majin Buu 6 or more on top of him, right?
25k or more.
25k or more, which you just put this guy, SS3 Gohan, underneath him. You can smack down Grand Evil Absorption Majin Buu, or Buuhan, as everyone likes to call it. Turn 2, you can use his activate main, choose this Gohan Adolescence underneath it, gains that ability, gains all his abilities, skills for the turn. Plus dual attack.
So you can alliance twice. And
Ooh.
just kinda go off.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the leader we're playing this in is the set 7 Gohan leader. One, because it burns your opponent down, and so it keeps with the aggro theme of playing bodies like that quickly. But on top of that, the set 7 Gohan leader means you have a Gohan Adolescence in your leader area, meaning you can play
Free
the
Videls.
Videl blocker. And on top of that, there was one other card we could play for free that I can't remember. Oh, in the other builds, you could also play the Trunks Youth Revenge blocker from set 7 tournament kits.
Yep. If you don't want to, because
free.
that's definitely 100 times better than just Videl. Because Alliance Red Green is any red or green battle card. But yeah, turn 2, Buuhan. He also gains barrier for the turn. He does that also.
And then you deal 2 damage, and
and prevent a lot of early plays because you can't do much for less than 20k in those first few turns.
I think that's what makes the big difference, because on turn 4, choosing not to play a 20k battle card, pretty doable. You either are tapping to play your boss monster pretty soon, or you can just like sit up for a turn. Turn 2 and 3, if you're doing that, you don't get that choice.
Yep.
And you'll
don't
start including Mafuba into your decks again, guys.
Yeah. So basically,
but even then, Alliance is an auto and it goes off anyway, so you can at least do it once.
I don't know if you get the rest of the effect, would you? I guess
I think
you would.
So yeah, since you're dual attack on Buuhan, you get the effect twice. You'll just like tap one card and then tap another card.
Basically, if you start and you do that combo and you have 2 Videls in hand, you should be burning your opponent at least twice with your leader, twice with Gohan. You swung with probably, let's see, there's going to be like 30, 35. So you're looking 35 double or 35 dual each
you can
time?
use the Gohan's effect, the awakened side of the Gohan leader, pitch
to give 10
10k to everything. So he gets big.
Big. Like I'm big.
He get real big, and then since you activate Alliance, you pop a 30k or less battle card.
And so what I think would be the optimal best play would be turn 2 do this, but while you're absorbing, you whiff absorb once, and then you do it again with the other Gohan Adolescence with the triple strike, Familial Bonds.
And so you burn
options. Them. Yeah, you burn. Well, no, yeah. So you put them both under there, right? And so the first turn on turn 2, you burn and lock your opponent. And then turn 3, you go in with a ridiculous triple strike twice.
And then if you also just want to do like what's it? I guess like a turn 3 play instead of like turn 2 is the nuts earliest play. Like turn 3 is more plausible because you need some setup in your hand. You
or
can
cards on board.
Yeah, and cards on board, which would be you can play 1-drop Red
1-drop
Hercule,
Hercule.
searches for your boo
Ooh,
cards,
and it's an Earthling. Ugh.
and it's just Earthling, so you can Bunny Girl. When they get rid of it, play Bunny Girl. You have a Bunny Girl on board now. Pick an Earthling. Oh look, you have a Hercule. Search
Which
again.
searches your pieces again, bruh.
Yeah, so deck profile coming out probably this week. Maybe some gameplay. We'll finally get some stuff going for that. But for I guess before we talk too much about it, because we're definitely kind of hyped about it. It's fun. Um,
Let's cause a buyout. We
I,
already did. We bought
we bought like
12 copies.
I didn't
Total?
have any before, so that's why
Of
I needed
what?
some. Buhan.
Grand absorption evil Mashabu. It's like
Uh,
$1.50.
Yeah, the old 5-drop Union. Cool.
No.
No?
The 7-drop super rare from set
The,
2.
the one we're
Oh, the
hyping,
Buhan.
Grant.
The Buhan SR. Okay.
The Buhan SR vet just
Yeah,
gets this effect on turn 2.
Yeah, yeah,
so,
yeah.
so you should
Come on,
you should
Grant.
probably buy a couple.
Weren't you taking notes?
The whole
I
time.
just wasn't sure what you were referring to.
Oh man, why do we have him on today? Grant, we love you. It's fine.
Thanks.
Dom does not speak for me.
You're right.
It's $1.50 right now.
But either way, red getting some good support. You could run this in a red-green deck, sure. The other thing is like you could Gogeta. You would rival the Gogeta with Nappa, and then play the Acrobatic Warrior Gogeta for an extra burn when you use Alliance. But that's like turn. That would be
4
like turn 3. You
at
would play that out,
earliest.
and then they'll probably die. But if they lived, you have stuff. But because he's not a 5-drop. If he was a 5-drop and had like an evolve or something else to get him out, that'd be cool. And then you could just play acrobatic, kind of like Liquor Run. So.
Mm-hmm. But it's not, which is probably for the best. This card is still strong. It's not broken. Be strong.
No, it's just you have to build a whole deck around it, like we talked about. Which then
I still think the biggest limiter is the fact that it's mono red Saiyan. If it was mono red, you have plenty of options. If it was red Saiyan, you have more options.
But mono red Saiyan,
red, mono red.
there's like actually like red Saiyan leads are not a lot.
No,
there's like 8.
And on top of that, in a traditional, if you are trying to do that right, chances are if you're hard casting this card, you need to be able to awaken and restand 2. So there's like 3 of those that matter. Pan, the Super Saiyan.
No, not even Gogeta.
The Super Saiyan Goku from the starter deck.
The GT,
the red one.
Yeah,
the
GT. both GTs start Gokus.
Restand 2.
There's like the Dragon Ball Heroes Gogeta.
I thought that was 1-1.
That's a 1-1 at 5 life.
That card also could be sleeper OP this format, just because
mono red, double strike automatic,
and double strike on unisons.
Mm-hmm.
And he goes up to 20k. Yep. So he could be sleeper. Keep an eye on that maybe. But yeah, we'll get a deck profile going soon. And then
dude,
you heard it here first.
Buhan.
If you're here, but we're a little hype. It's fun.
No one's gonna give you credit. No one's gonna give you credit, Dom. I'm sorry.
I know. Same thing would happen with Frieza Dende, but that one was kind of obvious that was how you play it. But yeah, that's all we got for today. This has been North Star Ball. I'm Dom.
I'm Dane.
Grant.
Thanks for joining us. This took a little longer than I thought with the card pool we had, but we just like talking cards, so I hope you join us next week.
Multicolors are more interesting. I think that's why, even though there's less cards last week and this week, there was more to talk about.
That's true. We got the classic Minnesota goodbyes in our outros. We don't leave. So that's a
don't wanna
Midwest thing,
leave.
so or a Minnesota thing.
I don't want to leave you guys.
I know. And hopefully we'll do more chats than just like this. I mean, once card reveals are done, who knows what's gonna happen, what we're gonna talk about. I have a judge friend that wants to come on. He judges like nationals and stuff. Do like an ask a judge session. Hang out with him. Blaine, shout out, fun dude. But yeah,
End it, Don. End it.
I know.
Don't be the stereotype.